So welcome to a different video for today, and it's probably going to be a short video with not too much talking, because if you follow me you know I like to talk quite a lot. Now, I've been asked several times to show a video of flowers that you can grow in a UK garden, so anything that's got the same temperature, which I can't quite believe that anywhere in the world has the same temperature as the UK, because today we have pouring down rain, yesterday we had almost a heat wave. So if you've got this same sort of temperature, soil types as here in the UK, then these flowers you could grow in your own garden and pick during sort of August and September time. So we're middle of August now when I'm filming, and I've got probably 5 or 6 different flower types in here to show you, and 3 different foliages. I'll start with the foliage first. Now, if you like modern design and you like quite contemporary groupings of foliages, then you really need to be growing Fatsia. So this is Fatsia japonica. I'm not going to go through all the soil types and the care conditioning because we'll be here for absolutely ever. But Fatsia, very versatile, flexible. You can bend and shape it, staple it, you can cut it. Very good in, more so in modern designs, but it's a really good gap filler, particularly if you do church flowers, because it comes in a nice big leaf. And you can get that as a variegated leaf as well, so green and white. The other one I would suggest is Hebe. This one is a purple toned Hebe, and I don't know the variety of this one. Most of the ones I've got in my garden are a purple edge. I obviously was fancying purple. It's probably my favourite colour. And I've got different ones of these planted around the garden, and if you cut them from the bottom, the top of the bush stays really attractive. You can get them in small little grey varieties, which work well in buttonholes if you're a florist, but just an example of 2 types that you can grow at home. And then you'll probably all recognise the Formium. This is Formium Tenax. This has been split in half because I've been working with it in another design. But these come in a absolutely huge range of colours. Again, I don't know the variety on this one. This is not actually from my garden. This is one that I get given quite often to work with. It's a beautiful pink edge one. And they're easy to grow. They don't like heavy frost when the roots freeze, but they can survive most conditions. And if you're from the coastal area, like I am, then they love the coast, that salty sort of sea air. Then on my left here are flowers that are all from my garden. And I know I give the impression that I have this amazing garden, but I don't. It's a nice size garden, but not all of it is planted up for growing. I would like it to be planted up for growing, but we haven't achieved that yet. It's a plan. It's in my long-term goals. Now, this is one of my favourites. This is a hydrangea, and this is Anabelle. Say hello to Anabelle. And when it comes up in the garden, it's this creamy, I nearly said apricot, it's not apricot. It's a creamy ivory tone. And then as it goes later into the season, you get this gorgeous blush pink on the side of it. It's probably, as the plant is dying off, it's pulling all its sugars into the plant, and they turn all these beautiful shades. So one of my absolute favourites. I've got a few hydrangeas because they're great for fillers and groundwork, but that one is just gorgeous. The other big one I've got here is Phlox. Now, don't panic if it's dropping when I pick it up. The reason that Phlox drops a lot is because it's multi-headed. There's so many heads on there that to enable it to open up, or to enable a new flower to open, it has to drop one of the buds. So this one is Phlox, and quite a lot of these plants I pick up very cheaply, either in, I was going to say car boot sales, but it's not car boot sales, flower club sales tables, places like Aldi and Lidl when they have plants outside. A lot of these I've bought fairly cheaply. I don't spend a massive amount on plants. But I look for things that I know are going to come back year after year and things that I can use in floral design. We'll do the yellow ones later. We'll go through the pink ones first. So this one, I'm sure you will all recognise as Astrantia. This is Astrantia major. This is a mauvey purple sort of colour. And this is a later flowering one. I have got a pink one that flowers earlier in the year. And if you ever have Astrantia delivered as a bouquet, or you see it growing in somebody's garden, just take one of the heads off it when it's dying, because that is just seeds. That's just loads of seeds on there. And that is enough for you to be able to plant and grow another one for the following year. It'll take a little while to get established. All of these, or these two at least, are herbaceous border plants. So they die back completely in the winter and then they come up in the summer and they flower quite a long period of time in the garden. Now, this is a new plant for me this year. This is chocolate cosmos, and it does smell of cosmos. It smells of chocolate. Does smell of chocolate. If you use your imagination, but it is meant to smell like chocolate, and it's this delightful sort of chocolatey burgundy colour. It's quite small and delicate, but it's fairly robust, and it does last really well in arranging. Doesn't mind foam, but it's a fantastic one to have in the garden. This is the first year I've got it, and I bought it as plants. I have the ability to buy wholesale plants, so I bought a tray of 6. So I've got 6 of them in the garden at the moment, but I don't know if it's a perennial and whether it will come back next year. So I'm going to save some seeds from that. This is also cosmos, but this is the more standard cosmos, which I'd like to be able to grow more of. And this one is lemonade. It's a creamy lemon sort of colour. It's taken a bit of a battering today because I've picked them in the rain. It's a dreadful day today, but works so well in all types of wedding designs if you're making bouquets, and it's got that lovely light and airy country look. Now this one, if you're a florist, you'll recognise this one straight away. This is panicum grass. The variety is fountain, I think. And if you get this in a gift bouquet, practically all of that head is seeds. So allow that to dry and then put it in a paper bag, and you're going to get all seeds off that. But as a florist, I can buy this from the wholesalers, but it's so easy to grow in the garden. It will self-seed. If you don't like messy gardens, then maybe this isn't the one for you, because it will self-seed all over the place. But it's just delightful. Light, frothy and airy, really says summer to me, and I love it. Use it in buttonholes, bridal bouquets and arrangements. And then I'm finishing, I think, for today with this one. And if you've watched one of the recent videos, I've referred to this as Helenium, because I do get the two confused. But this is Black-Eyed Susan or Rudbeckia, and this comes in lots of different varieties. You might find them with different colour heads on them. But what's also nice about this one is when the petals, I'm trying to find one that's damaged, but when the petals have fallen off, it's a bit like that sunflower that I showed you in last week's video. Even when the yellow petals have fallen off, you've still got quite an interesting little bud of flower that you can use, and it works so well in floral design. And this again is this is a herbaceous plant, so it completely dies back and then comes up in the spring. So what about that for a bucket full of exciting flowers? It's hard work growing plants in the garden. You do have to have quite a lot of time to make sure that the slugs don't eat them in the spring. You have to keep cutting them so more flowers come back. But generally, it's my happy place. And if you want to know any more information, you need to ask me in the comment box. If you haven't already subscribed, then now's the time to do it. This channel is packed with information. You can join me over on Facebook, in Sharon's Innovations group. Don't send me a private Facebook request. Look for that group, Sharon's Innovations group. There's loads of courses on the website. There's also PDF downloadable documents that you can read to give you some information on caring for cut flowers. And that's it for today. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to ask questions, and I'll see you for the next tutorial very soon. Bye for now.